evening to all. Welcome to Melanated Mondays. I hope you are here to get your Mondays melanated. All right, so you guys know what it is? Roll call. All right, so let's meet Miss Destiny.
Hi everyone, my name is Destiny and I am so excited for today's podcast. I hope you're just as excited.
Miss Nikita.
Hi everyone, I hope everyone is ready to join a great conversation.
Miss Just Dee.
What up, y'all? It's Just Dee. I hope y'all here for this melanation.
Miss Gabrielle.
Hey everybody, I'm Gary L. Looking forward to this talk today, and we are missing one of our sisters. She is holding it down at the 9 to 5, but we're gonna represent for her today.
Yes.
And
I am Demi from Miami, Florida, and I'm here to have some good girl chat tonight with you guys. So let's go. Have a very special guest host, Fresh Linen, so stay tuned for his appearance later. All right, so we're going to start with the first segment. Miss Nikita, take it away.
Hi everyone. This week we're introducing a new segment called Stop Taking My Black Card. Okay, so Stop Taking My Black Card is a segment we came up with for all of those people who may have the same issues I've experienced and still experience today. The problem of looking Black but not really being Black in a Black community. Perhaps it's my own personal problem, but I have always felt that I couldn't relate to other Black people. I didn't eat similar foods, listen to or really understand a lot of the music, mostly rap, and I still don't, or speak the same way. Sometimes people talk to me and it's like they're speaking a foreign language. I grew up in Connecticut, and again, yes, there are Black people in Connecticut, and I grew up very sheltered. I really only hung out at home or with other family if I was allowed outside of the house. My parents are both from Guyana. My entire family is from Guyana, and we're first generation born American Guyanese. So we grew up with a lot of Guyanese food and listening to soca music and eating or listening to oldies music. A lot of Black people don't know where they are from, and this is something I've always felt really privileged to have and very proud of to know. I have always bragged to people about where my family was from because I felt like it was a part of my identity. But my mom always tells me and my siblings who were born in the US that we are Guyanese Americans and not Guyanese. I was super oblivious to Black culture for the most part. And though I was aware of Black issues, it wasn't ever something I felt I could relate to. That oblivious Black child has now grown into an ignorant Black adult. And it is not a good feeling. I really started to become aware and learn about Black culture after I joined the military. I literally played a game called Black Card Revoked with some friends, and my background became very apparent to everyone when I asked, "What is Martin?" Never having seen Martin as a Black person, ooh, the shame. To this day, my Black card gets taken regularly. Oh, you don't listen to rap? Taken. You don't know who is coming to see Otis? Taken. I didn't know what spades was until a few years ago. Before you shun me, though, I have since learned and consider myself very good. Don't ask me to play, though, because people take that game way too seriously. I say all this to say that I am different. Yes, I am also Black. And there are many cultures that are Black, but not necessarily Black American. So we all grew up very differently. So please stop taking my Black card. You guys think about revoking Black cards from people. I know that some of you are guilty of this very thing.
Yeah, this is true.
yeah.
I'm in Nikita's boat as well. I think I maybe not like, I mean, okay. it's happened before. But like, you know, the way I am, music, like you said, music you listen to, I don't always listen to rap music. I have very diverse music. Sometimes my husband be like, so we talked about 23andMe last week, and it's funny because he'll be like, oh, that's that European, that white side coming out, because 20-something% European.
Not the Europe.
He's like, that's that European coming out. And I'm like, no. So I think sometimes, like, it happens for me too. And, you know, of course, it doesn't feel good because, like, regardless, I'm Black, you know. But maybe some things, like you said, like, kind of like ignorant on, or we don't like. That's just our personal preference or whatever it is. But we're still Black, you know.
Yeah, I think it's hard. Nikita, I kind of sympathize with you because my family being Jamaican, we were, you know, from Miami. And so in Miami, we didn't really, before I moved to Georgia and I was in Miami, we didn't really talk about racism. Racism wasn't apparent in Miami because everybody came to Miami to have a better life. So either you came from the Bahamas, Jamaica, Cuba, Dominican Republic. So everybody was from some type of island in Miami. So it wasn't necessarily race, Black and white. If anything, it was island against islands, like Jamaicans or like Bahamians, stuff like that, you know, but it wasn't white and Black. So I wasn't aware of racism. Though I was taught in school, we had Black History Month. We learned about the same old Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and we knew that it was slaves, but it wasn't. I never witnessed it till we moved to Georgia, and my whole world turned upside down when I seen it was the difference between the times you out. Saturdays was for Black people. Fridays are for white people, and it was very apparent even in the school. White people sat on one side, Black people sat on one side. It was very apparent. Like, it was weird to me because I've never seen it, you know. And so, with my husband being born and raised in Georgia, that's what he knew. So when we'll talk about race issues and stuff like that, like, I got denied not getting a Subway sandwich because, like I said, she concerned me because I was Black. I was completely baffled. I was on a field trip as a youth conductor, and I was like, so you just not gonna feed me? It took the and I won't say my coworker, but the director of the youth camp to come in and get me something to eat. Either way, I've got my Black card revoked from friends when I say, yeah, racism wasn't a big thing to us in Miami because in Miami, our families are all trying to grow together or work together, you know. And so that wasn't our issue then, you know. And so I was like, it's not till I learned about really racism and actually learned about it until we got to Georgia. And so, yeah, a lot of my Black cards get taken for that a lot of times. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know about it for a while, like, or experienced it or seen it, you know. And so it took my husband a while to believe me. And then when he asked my mom, I was like, yeah, we didn't have that conversation with her. There was no need for it, you know, because we didn't see it. So a lot of things that we grew up on Jamaican food, Jamaican songs and stuff like that. We get to Georgia, don't ask me nothing about no rap. Who's Gucci Man? Who is that? Like, I don't know who that is. Like, you know, certain things. Now, of course, being from Miami, everybody know who Uncle Luke was. So either you know who Uncle Luke was.
Uncle Luke, huh?
Yeah. So of course, those are the three people that you knew: Uncle Luke, Trina, and Trick Daddy. But you ask me anybody else other than that, I don't know who that is, and, you know. So yeah, I sympathize with you to some point, yeah, because I was a little ignorant. So yeah, but my husband made fun of me because my mom is half white Jamaican. So when I do listen to my songs that are not considered Black, Ruben do the same thing as Jayla Destiny. He'd be like, oh, that's that white side coming out. He's like, what is that? What is that music?
Whatever. Everybody got their white song that they like. Yes, so I don't feel like you get your Black card revoked for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure. So, but I think it's just a running joke about certain songs. I think that's what it is, though. So, yeah.
I feel like I don't think people actually mean harm when they take your Black card. Because sometimes I be getting mine revoked And sometimes I be revoking people's. I done took a couple of Nikitas for real. But I mean, I think it's just, I think it's lighthearted, but it might, hit different people differently. So be careful what you say,
Yeah.
Yes, Nikita. I'm sorry, did I cut you off, Gariel?
Oh no, you good.
Okay, I owe you an apology, Nikita, because yes, I have taken your black card several. Like what? You, Martin? You've never not one episode? Like I don't understand. But so I grew up blackity black. Y'all gotta understand, like all of the stereotypes in one point or another. That's been me. Okay.
Yeah.
I have experienced it. I was born and raised in Black culture. It's a beautiful thing. And it's all and okay. So I will say the stereotypical Black culture, because I do believe that that culture is only a small part of what Black culture is. Like Nikita said earlier, Black culture is pretty much a lot of different things in one, because none of us, a lot of us really don't know where the heck we came from. So we made our own culture. I think that Black culture is what is being referred to when we say Black card revoked or something like that. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but I can also, I can see how it's a joke. Because it kind of is, you know what I'm saying? But it can also be very toxic. It can also be very toxic. Like, I have a little sister. She's very smart. She's very articulate. And it's a lot of family members, I'm not going to say all of them, that will quickly be like, why are you talking white? Because she's articulate. Why? Why is it that if I'm not speaking Ebonics, I'm talking white? So I can't be intelligent and blackety black? Yeah, that's so yeah, that's how I feel about it. But in my opinion, y'all are all Black. Can't nobody take your Black card because you are Black. That you can't. You got the melanin, okay? If you try to bleach it out, that's your business. But you're still Black. So joke's on you.
It's really not something that bothers me too much anymore. Like when I was truly ignorant, when I was at my utmost ignorance in life, that's when, it kind of hurt my feelings. People would take my Black card. But I feel like as I progress and I learn, I understand why, now. And, I'm still ignorant about a lot of things. And
we all are.
Yeah. So it's great now that I'm learning.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Your Black is beautiful.
Baby.
There's just one thing I wanted to mention when you were saying that you said something and it sparked a thought in my head. So like Childish Gambino, he's talked about like, not being Black enough for the Blacks and then not being enough like white enough for white people, and then also Logic. He's been someone that's been in the media before talking about he's mixed, but people don't see him being a Black person, and so they always deny him his rights. And so I think if anyone identifies that you're Black, like you said, we're all Black, and just because they may not fit this category, the stereotypical category, they still are what they are. Yeah, I'm gonna add that on.
That reminds me of Issa, an awkward Black girl. She's like really the only celebrity I kind of like personally relate to just because of her awkward Black girl series. I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
I think it's crazy that coming to Georgia, I end up having friends who were mixed. Most of my friends before I moved to Georgia was either some type of Jamaican Bahamian or Latina. And so coming to Georgia, you know, I had straight black friends, like black friends, like from the hood. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. This a new type of friendship, you know.
Not about this.
Listen, I learned some things. It was different. And then I had friends who were mixed, you know, and growing up I knew my mom was mixed, you know, white and black, but saying she was still Jamaican. I didn't get to meet my grandfather because back then my grandmother and grandfather couldn't be together. So, you know, I never got to meet him. But either way, come to Georgia and I have a lot of mixed friends now who are black and white. And even at that age, I had friends who felt like they were, like Destiny said, weren't black enough or weren't white enough, you know. And me being ignorant, didn't know how to encourage anybody to say, yeah, but you still black though, you know. It just kind of went out one ear and out the other. But it's not until I got older, and even now I have friends who are mixed, and that's the issue for them because they feel like they aren't black enough and then they aren't white enough. And so they feel like that's a big issue within the mixed community. And I feel like that sucks because it doesn't matter. As long as you black, you know, like you should feel like you are enough for both sides, to be quite honest. You know what I mean?
And you
so
shouldn't have to
so nobody should have to feel as if though they're not enough, because baby, you are enough. And somebody should have to tell you that you're not enough.
Yeah.
You know? So that's my personal issue with that. I think it sucks for people who are biracial that have to actually deal with that issue. Because you shouldn't have to, you know.
Yeah.
So, you still got some.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I agree. It's, you know, I have a lot of mixed family. Like I have a cousin and she used to come visit. We lived in the hood and she used to come visit and we would play with our friends. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the kids would be like, what are you mixed with? Like, you know, your hair is so long, it's so pretty. And she's, you know, she doesn't look black. I don't know what that means because we come in all different shape, color, size, you know. But I guess she doesn't look like me. So she would be like, I'm black. This is my dad, I'm black. And it was like, no, you're not black, you're white. And she would get so upset, like she would cry. She would sit on the porch and cry. And she was like, why don't these people believe that I'm black? I'm telling them. And then, you know, I also have a friend who is black. Her mother is black, but, she's mixed and her father is Italian. And she looks like the color of her skin is white, but you can tell her facial features that she is black. And so a lot of people think that she's Hispanic, but she's one of them people where she's like, no, I'm black. And I love it to be able to witness that. But I agree. They witness racism on a completely different spectrum because they get it from both sides. Mm-hmm. I mean, that has to be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A struggle you don't even realize happens until you see it or experience it. Like,
yeah.
Dang. That's messed up.
No, I didn't even realize that people struggle like that until recently. Like, I will say when I moved, like within the last 5 years, I really didn't know that was a struggle for like people not fitting in on either side or ambiguous people having to defend their blackness. I didn't know that happened. You know?
Yeah.
Because to me, it don't make no difference.
Right.
It shouldn't.
Right.
I think it's hard. I think it's hard for everyone all around. You know, I think the name calling too, like a lot of friends, and even my mom personally, like being called Oreo or some type of offensive
guilty
name, you know. And so it's not like recently, maybe a few years ago, like my oldest is 7, so maybe around 6 years, you know, my mom, she was just like, yeah, growing up was hard for me because my mom, if anybody met her, she light-skinned, hazel eyes, and blonde hair. She has black features, but she also, you can tell she mixed with something. She not just, you know. And so she said growing up, she was called all kind of names because you in a school full of Jamaicans, everybody look dark skinned. You know what I mean? Even my whole family is all dark skinned, and she's the only one who stand out because she's super light skinned with hazel eyes. And so she was like, yeah, I was called all kind of horrible nicknames, you know, because I was mixed. And I guess it just never dawned on me how that could affect someone until me being 29 now as an adult. And after everything has happened over the past few years with Black Lives Matter and everyone, you know, speaking out about being Black, did I actually realize, oh, this is the actual issue people deal with, you know? And I don't think a lot of us, well, personally for me, I don't think, I didn't take it into consideration. I felt like it wasn't that serious because I personally didn't go through it, you know, but hearing people talk about how it has affected them, because long story short, it's bullying, you know, it's bullying.
Hey, speak the truth. It is what it is, straight up.
And as adults, we can definitely bully. We bully about colorism. We do.
Self-awareness.
Yep. And so it's crazy. Yeah.
The lighter skinned Black people, they experience colorism, but like when I was a kid, I was the darkest kid of my family. You know what my nickname was?
What?
They called me Blackie. Like,
really?
why are you shaming me for being darker? It didn't make any sense. But I mean, as a kid, you don't understand that. It just made me feel really bad about myself, and I wanted to be light skinned.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I never, ever wanted. There's not one day in my life that I sat down and thought, man, I want to be light skinned. And I have to thank my grandmother. Grandma, if you are watching this, I want to thank you because she set me down and she used to tell me all the time, baby, your Black is beautiful. You are gorgeous, you know. And she used to tell me, like, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Your roots are deep. That's what that means. Your roots run deeper. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Hey.
And so, I have that confidence. Like even in high school, I didn't care. I shot my shot. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think I was any less cute from my light skinned friends. You know, it was what it was. I worked with what I got. Okay, I'm thankful for what the Lord gave me.
It should be.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, God. But it's all about the upbringing. It's true.
Yes.
Like, and I have a lot of friends who experience that, like who feel ugly because, you know, they be at the family reunion calling people Black, blue.
Listen.
We gotta do better. That's all I gotta say.
We have to. We have to do better. We have to. Especially as Black queens supporting, you know, each other, or women empowering women, you know, but our melanin just supporting each other no matter what shade you are. You know,
exactly.
I think it's cool.
It's about the inside.
No, it's not. Definitely not. I think it's cool that now it's nice seeing our melanated people come out with their natural hair because that first wasn't thing. It wasn't just, oh, you need to go get a perm, you nappy. I have family members who make friends with my afro on Facebook. Oh, you need to go get your hair done. No, I don't. My afro just thank you. You know, and so but
that's
I think
a whole segment right there on black hair.
It's a whole. But I think us stepping out, like, no, this is who I am. I'm Black, beautiful, and it's nice seeing racial, you know, people with their they have, you know, their hair is of that tint, and them wearing their hair like, oh, this is me, this is my hair.
Yes.
You know, feeling like I could perm or straighten into a certain, you know. The only thing I want to do when I was younger, I was light skinned, but I always wanted my hair to be. I would say I wanted my hair to like white people hair. I used to tell my mom all the time. Hair like white people hair. I wanted it long and silky all the time. And I didn't like my hair for a long time until just recently, and I just started to love my hair. So, but I make it a thing to definitely teach my girl, like you said, it's upbringing. Definitely, I do that with my girls now since they were babies. That I with them and remind them how beautiful they are. regardless of their skin color.
Yes.
Okay, so we got our guests coming in to the chat.
What?
Mr. Fresh Linen.
Yes. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to see y'all.
Thank you for joining us this beautiful Monday.
Yes.
So can you start by introducing yourself? Tell us where you are, where you're from, what you think we should know about you.
Okay. So hello. My name is George, but I go by Fresh Linen. I'm a spoken word artist. I also dabble in music as well as videography. But I'm out here in Germany. Stationed in the Air Force. Stationed out here. Been here since 2017, and I've been performing spoken word since 2016. But yeah, this is the basics right now about me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you've been performing since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your first performance like? And like, how have you grown since then?
That's actually a good question because I honestly, I have a video of me performing at the O Lounge in Korea, and I thought I was this was the best poem I ever wrote in my life, best performance, and when I watch it now, it makes me cringe. Like it's so bad, so cheesy, like Dr. Seuss rhymes. Like there's no message behind, there's nothing. But I thought it was it, and I had my friends record me and everything. But I keep it to keep me humble, just to remind myself where I came from. But normally I would like sing or play the piano or something like that. But poetry really didn't stick until I got here in Germany. Got my heart broke, was in my feelings, and then I wrote a poem about it. And yeah, from that point on, I started performing at an event called Meet the Souls, and yeah, this opportunity started coming right after that.
So you said you got your heartbreak was what inspired you to start writing.
Yeah.
Is that still what inspires you? Is it your experiences or your friends' experiences? Like what is your muse?
Well, luckily not, right? Because I'm married now. If I had to wait till every time my wife made me upset, then all the poems would be about me messing up then. But no, like I definitely have motivation on other aspects now. Obviously with police brutality or things affecting my culture, my heritage, or being able to talk on topics like mental health, things that come off to be therapy for me, they end up being therapy for me, is where the poetry lies. And I realized that definitely with the heartbreak, right? So I was like sitting in my room upset. And then after a while, it's like, I'm just going to write this out. I don't have a diary or anything, but wrote it out, and then it just started to flow like poetry. And then same deal with other topics. We performed a poem, and I just saw on social media, like all of 2019, there was a lot of posts about kids being abducted. It was abduction, Donald Trump, abduction, something else, right? And then it just stopped, but it still kind of bothered me. And I just brought it up to my team, and we wrote a poem about what would happen if we lost one of our children or somebody that we really love. And we were able to dive into that, which I thought was pretty awesome. With none of us ever being abducted, no experience of that, but just writing about the 5 stages of grief and then doing some research and tying in real facts versus our real emotions and make a message. I think that's pretty awesome. So I think my inspiration now comes from things that like I genuinely just care about, and it falls down to a lot of self-reflection. And I think it's something that like I'm not used to. Never grew up. I don't know about you guys' household, but I never grew up being able to express myself freely in the household. It's kind of like your parents say something, it's like, all right, that's what it is. There's no talking back. They're expressing yourself. So I think spoken word itself, like just the fact that I can express myself, is already inspiration enough.
That the fact that you can be that empathetic, that's awesome. And that passion does show in your performances. I've had the honor of seeing you perform a few times, and it really does show through. So shout out to you and your team for that. You want to plug them? Let us know who your team is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they kind of just slide it in. So, and I think we made a poetry, not even just poetry, just an art collective called Return to Cinder, and it's a wordplay on cinder as in like a flame, cinder as in sending a message, and as well as center as in humility and team. But we are poets, singers, painters, photographers, videographers, just people who want to express themselves through different mediums of art. And we realize that the pros, the people that make it, there's a lot of people behind the scenes. There's a lot of other artists that help them get there. And it's not really glorified. And Didi, you understand, performing at Meeting of Souls versus performing at the Apollo, you realize like, all right, one seems pretty cutthroat and the other seems very loving. It's like, okay, cool. Let's create this community where we're constantly building each other up. We're constantly making a safe place for vulnerability. Let's make events. Let's support other initiatives and stuff like that. We'll do it together so that when we make it, we're bringing each other up. And yeah, that's what we're about.
That's what's up. So I don't want to put you on the spot, but can you recite something for us, like one of your favorite poems or something that you really feel? Just a few minutes or, a few lines. Whatever.
One of my favorite poems. Well, I just happen to have a couple of my favorite poems up and ready to go. So.
Okay, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
So, because my wife is pregnant and we got a baby on the way, named after my mother. We're naming our daughter the first name after my mom and her mom. So I want to do this poem. It's called Mama Bear. My mother used her environment as a springboard from the status quo, balancing on her support beam faith. Mom Dukes, fights with soliloquies, no street talking. You see, slang was just as bad as cussing. They say the words her tongue writes and stamps on your eardrums can make the blind see. They say that my mama will kill you with kindness just by praying for you, then stop mentioning your name to the creator. And she's too humble to admit it. But my mother is so good at being a mom, the whole hood calls her moms. Pull your pants up when she's addressing the way that you're dressing, yelling, we can't feed every mouth. But at the same time, ask your friends, did you eat today? Mama's recipes electric slide on your taste buds with nostalgia. And for those who don't get it yet, my mama's a woman, a hell of a woman. And for those who aren't aware, that means she's got to work twice as hard, and she's Black, with a name that's too unique to ever appear on a souvenir keychain, so she's working hard times 10. My mother wears her hair the same way a mama bear stands up and growls, try me. Her glare makes you prefer the aftermath of the soothing sound of a rattlesnake's song. Her roar makes the strongest men ask for help. But when it comes to us, her children, mama's bare hands barely brought bags of bucks to cubs, but it was always enough. I mean, our clothes might not be new, but they were never dirty. I mean, we might be hungry, but we were never starving. And her eyes never forgot to bring nurture along with it to greet our hearts. Her mama bear hugs. Call upon forces we don't understand, but they make the elements reconsider disaster. Her voice is a variety of vital vitamins, feeling invincible after every pep talk. You try your best to impress her for just a second of her smile. Mama, watch this. You summon to her for the 26th time, and she responds with a smile and affirmation. 26 times. You see, Mama Bear loves, yet Mama does hurt. Mama dresses struggle in a smile as if it was her own child. I mean, she practically raised it her whole life. Mama is so good at drying your tears because she's become a pro at hiding hers in her fur. Have you ever noticed when she only smiles with half her face? Her eyes drenched in pain while her teeth say it's okay. I guess nobody truly knows the pain that Mama bears. Mama Bear holds family above all, and that's why no one messes with her cubs. You see, regardless of how you came to be or your current status with her now, just know that she never raised regret. She never raised regret. Becoming you was never an option without she who gives life, she who raises chin, she who molds future, her, the one who looked death in the eyes and said, not mine, her, Mother Nature's advocate, her, the beauty, the brains, the brawn, the mother. Thank you.
That was so nice.
Yes.
So if anybody who is listening would like to find your work or, see what you're about, where can they find you? Let's get a plug of all your social medias, any announcements you want to make, whatever you got.
Okay. So if you want to see some of my work, you can go to Fresh Linen on Facebook. It can kind of get hard. You just type in Fresh Linen. You might get a lot of clothes that pop up. So if you type in Fresh Linen all together on Facebook and Instagram, you will find my accounts on there. Also, if you get lost, you can't figure it out at all, you can go to returntosender.com, and that's return the number 2 CINDR.com, or also on all the social media platforms, or you can go to freshlinencreates.com, and you'll see all my social media plugs as well as links to get to the Return to Sender site to see my team. So you'll see the painters, you'll see the other poets and rappers on the team as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So on behalf of all the ladies here, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. You are awesome. We are huge fans of yours. We're going to support you 100%.
Oh,
absolutely.
Good luck to you and your wife and the new bundle of joy. Many blessings to y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, y'all. That was a great segment with Fresh Linen. We enjoyed him very much. Once again, thank you for joining us, Fresh Linen. Now let's pass it out to Destiny as she gives us some facts about our heart.
As you all know, it is Black History Month, but it's also Heart Health Month as well. And that is the reason why we're all wearing red. If you're watching us on YouTube, and then if you're listening to our podcast, we're wearing red. Like we covered last week, I am the owner of Heart and Soul Fitness, and we actually have been covering 7 days of self-care to show our awareness for this month. So if you're interested in looking at some heart health facts, take a look at Heart and Soul Fitness. But it's really important for us as Black women, and then even for our male listeners, to take charge of our heart health, because heart disease is the #1 killer in America, and then it's also the #1 killer of women across all ages, not in just one particular age group, across all ages. That is the #1 killer for women. There are many factors that contribute to developing this disease, such as genetics, chronic conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, physical factors such as being overweight or being obese, and then certain activities such as smoking and then inactivity. A few ways that we can stay vigilant of our heart health are to monitor our blood pressure and heart stats, to eat the right foods that contribute to our healthy heart, commit to exercising at least 150 minutes a day, and then treating ourselves to something fun and relaxing to reduce stress. So I want to ask you all, what are some ways that you keep your heart healthy?
Well, I most definitely do not work out for 150 minutes a day, but I do eat dark chocolate, if that counts.
150 is a lot too.
150 minutes a week.
Okay, I can do that one.
It's not a day. I'm so sorry. It's a week. So that could be 30 minutes a day at least, and that's for your heart health. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, I can do that one. But I do eat dark chocolate, and they say that's good for your heart. So there you go.
And red wine.
And red wine.
Does pumpkin wine count? Because that's what I'm drinking.
Sure.
All the wines.
All the wines. Don't quote me, y'all. Okay. No social media. I'm just kidding.
I can't. I drink lots of water. I fast, which is, not a Western take on how you should approach heart health, but I'm all about the healing, and I like to look outside of Western medicine sometimes to get, sometimes the remedies are true, sometimes they do work. So, and of course, I am on my weight loss journey, so I'm trying, hopefully, I won't be obese for too much longer. Even though the American standard of obesity is definitely racist, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Take account to curves, all of that, Not all of us are sticks and tall and long and lean. We got curves, we got a little extra here and there,
Yes. There's nothing wrong with that.
So I would like to provide some of our listeners some additional resources and information about our heart health. Starting with a few questions that you could ask your physician the next time you have an appointment. So the questions are, what is my risk for heart disease? What is my blood pressure? What does it mean for me? And what do I need to do about it? What are my cholesterol numbers? What do they mean for me? And what do I need to do with them or about them? What are my body mass index or BMI and waist measurements? Do they mean that I need to lose weight for my health? What is my blood sugar level, and does it mean that I'm at risk for diabetes? If so, what do I need to do about it? What are some screening tests for heart disease that I need? What can I do to help, or what can you do to help me quit smoking? How much physical activity do I need to help protect my heart? What's a heart healthy eating plan for me? And then how can I tell if I may be having a heart attack? If I think I'm having one, what should I do? So those are just some questions to keep in mind if you have any concerns for your physician about your health. And then there's some organizations that you can look up, check out their websites for more information, starting with the American Heart Association, NHLBI Health Information Center, Women Heart, the National Coalition for Women with Heart Disease, Office on Women's Health, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services National Women's Health Information. And then, like I mentioned in the beginning, Heart and Soul Fitness, we did our 7 days of self-care, and I posted some facts on there. So feel free to take some of that information and follow some of those resources, or look up information on those resources about heart health.
Yes, heart and soul, come through.
I feel healthy already.
Right?
And speaking of Black history, here's Nikita with some history about Black History Month.
Hi, everyone. It's me again. Black History Month was created by Carter G. Woodson through his organization, the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, in 1926. It started as only 1 week in February, which was chosen for its significance. It encompassed the birthdays of both Abraham Lincoln, the U.S. president who abolished slavery, and Frederick Douglass, a former slave and prominent activist, author, public speaker in the abolitionist movement. Black History Week was created to raise awareness of the many outstanding contributions African Americans had made to civilization. Mr. Woodson, a trained historian, had hoped that the truth about African American history could not be denied and reason would prevail over prejudice. He intended to demonstrate our worth and significance to not only white people and other races, but ourselves as well. In 1976, on its 50th anniversary, President Gerald Ford transformed the celebratory week into Black History Month. And so, since then, we have had celebrations every February for the last almost 50 years. So what's next? Black history has been taught and celebrated every year for the last almost 100 years. According to Old Chap Charity, aka Charity Croft, the meaning behind Black History Month has now changed. It is no longer just about educating people about Black history, because at this point, everyone should know or be able to realize the contributions that Black people have made. It is now about using this platform to create progressive change. He believes, and so we happen to agree, that Black History Month should have two sides. First, joy and celebrations. Black History Month still matters because Black people need to take time to be aware of their purpose, power, and strength. We should honor who we were back then and who we are today. Our people have overcome centuries of abuse, and we are still here and still fighting. We are amazing, and we should celebrate that. Second, education. The world knows of the contributions Black people have made to civilization. Now it is time to educate people on how we can dismantle the systemic issues we still face today. Now it is time to educate our white allies on how they can help us dissolve the issues that are still prevalent in our society. The story of Black history continues to be written, and it is not over. In 50 years, the next generations will look back on what we do today as we look back on what our ancestors did yesterday, and they will use our example to guide them. Please continue to write our story.
Love it. All right, well, that's on that. I really don't believe that we need to say anything on this. Nikita has definitely taken the liberty to write an amazing piece, and she most certainly spoke on all of our behalf, so there's really nothing to discuss. If you, on the other hand, feel a little differently about Black history and may not have the same views, we are so excited, and we really, really hope that you go ahead and post your comments below. We are willing, ready, and waiting to interact with you. Let us know what you would like to see next. Be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And I hope and pray, as we all do, that your Mondays has been melanated. Deuces.